Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is RemovableSanity, and today I'm reviewing Atlas Fallen, developed by Deck 13 Interactive and published by Focus Entertainment. So what is Atlas Fallen? Atlas Fallen is a hack-and-slash action-adventure set in an unforgiving world whose inhabitants worship a brutal sun god. The premise is you rise from the dust as a nobody who then glides across the sand of a timeless land, filled with ancient dangers, mysteries and fragments of the past, in a bid to bring back hope to all. The game boasts an expansive, unique fantasy world teeming with secrets, locales and dangers, the ability to hunt legendary creatures alone or with a friend, super-powered combat with 3 deadly shape-shifting weapons, and unique custom skills and abilities and outfits for you to enjoy. First up is accessibility. With regards to accessibility, there is a nice selection of options to tweak and adapt the way you play this game, from controller remapping, subtitle options, bloom and flare intensity. There is a little lacking on the sound side, so those with hearing difficulties may have some issues. But in terms of combat, visual guides for when monsters attack is baked in from the beginning. Overall, a good selection that should allow more players to enjoy this game. Next up is gameplay. For those that are familiar with the developer Deck 13 Interactive, you will be aware of their Souls-like games and their unique take on that genre. I personally reviewed The Surge, which I still think is one of the best unique Souls-like games out there, with the sequel improving on it. However, their latest iteration is very different, and they have moved away from the Souls genre into the more fancy hack-and-slash action-adventure. The best way I can describe Atlas Fallen is that it has a mix of Darksiders and Devil May Cry flavour to it, but in much more larger world setting. The game starts with you woken in an alien plane being attacked by creatures, wraiths, and is the game's short tutorial of how future battles may play out. You then get strangely woken up again by a tracker who has managed to save you from dying after your caravan got attacked. Back at camp, you find you are one of the unnamed, a slave-like majority that is only there to serve the higher-ups. After trying to fight back from your oppressors, you are tasked with finding a thief, which in the process you find a gauntlet half buried in the ground with a voice calling you. Of course, you pick it up, and here is where your true journey in the game begins. Escaping your previous masters, you and the new voice in your head enters the wide world and start to learn about the sun god that has been keeping you and everybody else enslaved. Now, when I say wide world, I mean very large hub areas to explore. These vast landscape areas are huge and can easily take you about 20 minutes travelling from one side of the map to the other to get across, and are full to the brim with side quests, collectibles, vantage points, hidden treasures, and enough creatures to keep even the most pickiest person content. Gliding across this world is a joy as you slide your way across the sand. That is almost a disappointment when you have to scale a vast mountain structure. These verticality areas, which you will need to traverse in a bid to progress the story and get some of those juiciest rewards, are almost too huge, but can provide the most stunning vistas once done. Again, a bit like Darksiders, some areas are locked off due to certain story quests, giving you the correct ability in order to progress, but most of the maps are open to exploration at your own pace. I often found myself just exploring, killing monsters and finding loot, only to hit a town or village location for an NPC to proceed to tell me their woes, and me just end up answering, "Yup, already solved that one for you." Rewards from NPCs are nicely varied as well, as they often give you map fragments to hidden treasures, tributes, money, or essence stone recipes, which I'll talk about later. Progress can be saved by finding anvils around the world and become your souls-like bonfires, which allow you to upgrade gauntlet abilities, armor upgrades, momentum bar upgrades, perk unlocks, and fast travel to other unlocked anvils. But it's the combat that you're probably most likely interested in, and I can say it's a lot of fun without the need to really hone your skills if you choose not to. The combat is fast paced, a bit floaty when in the air, but engaging and challenging depending on how you choose your fights to play out. It revolves around a lots of dodging, blocking and countering, which are critical to succeeding. It also requires constant transitioning between ground and air combat at the flick of a button, hence the Devil May Cry reference. Thankfully, the parry system, which covers your body in sand, can be done in the air, and can give you an edge should you see a tower swipe coming at you as you're on your way to land. Enemies are similar to Deck 13's previous Soul-like iterations, in that you can target specific limbs to weaken your enemy before finishing them off, prolonging the fight, which in turn will provide better chance of rewards. But you can choose to hit the main bulk of the target for a quicker takedown if things get a bit too hectic for you. And these battles can be hectic, as often or not, these won't be one-on-one battles, but a blend of a larger creature surrounded by a few smaller minions attacking at the same time. Mix into the match, these enemies can be a variety of ground-based or air-based creatures, and you'll quickly be darting around looking at all directions as you are attacked. And this is where things can get a bit hit and miss, as the targeting system is fine for the bigger enemies and the choice of limb you wish to focus on, but can be a pain where smaller other enemies are involved. The amount of times I was targeting a tail or head of the largest creature for a smaller enemy to dart in my view, and then it swapped my focus onto that instead, which then led to a few of my deaths. Now, when it comes to the weapons you use, you will start off with only two weapons: a Dune Cleaver, that is your slow heavy attack, and your Sand Whip, a much more longer light ranged attack. As you progress, you'll finally get the Knuckle Dust, which is your fast medium close attack for those wanting your more intimate encounters. You can only choose two of these weapons to fight with though, but these can be switched out on the fly using a character build. But it's a combat system that sets the game apart from the others in its genre. This is due to the game's momentum mechanic, a charging meter at the bottom below your health that will gradually build as you land strikes on enemies and generally perform well in combat. Below your momentum bar, you'll see 3 tiers which hold a variety of slots, including special skills in the shape of diamonds and a number of square slots for boosts. As your momentum progress up the tiers, you'll unlock both passive boosts, things like damage and defense, and its special skills, like a magical wall to prevent damage, etc. However, once you use a special skill, your momentum bar drops slightly. To get to the stronger higher tiers, you need to keep attacking and wait for that tier to get highlighted. Once you hit all the tiers, you can use all special skills and boosts are all active. But stay out of combat too long and the bar gradually decreases on its own, ensuring you need to be in the fight as much as possible. This risk versus reward is something you'll need to manage in the middle of every fight. The momentum bar is customizable, but only at an anvil, and as you explore the world, opening chests and defeating enemies, you'll collect essence stones, which will slot into the tiers, providing you with a variety of boosts and skills. There is a huge variety here, and an ever-increasing collection will help you pinpoint the style you wish to play as. Bad at parrying? Well, create a build on taking hits and automatic parrying. Want an air attack only build? Not a problem. And it's this versatility which really opens up the game's possibilities in how you wish to fight. There is also a crafting element to the game that ties into all of this too, allowing the stones you have to be increased in strength and reduce their cooldowns by combining random crafting materials you've collected in the world and spending essence. Alongside this is idol collecting. This is an item that holds 3 charges on the bottom right of your screen and will allow you to heal at the click of a button. Like the momentum bar, this also slowly refills over time, and depending on the idol you choose to pick, will also provide a constant buff, like an extra charge slot, or every damage you take, you receive a portion of health back as well. Both the momentum bar, idols and weapons are combined to create one character preset, which the game supports 3 of. This means you can create multiple builds on the go and then flick between them all at the press of a button before a fight, allowing for even more experimentation. One thing that doesn't switch with your character preset is your overall character level, which is solely based on the armor set you will be wearing. As you progress through the game, you will see creatures with a number above them, and this indicates their level. And if your level matches them, you should be okay in killing them. Armor sets are often quest items, though some can be bought from vendors using tributes, or you can find them scattered around the world. Now, each of the 10 armor sets has a basic level, unique stats, and generally 3 tier levels it can be upgraded above. To do so, you'll need to gather essence through fights, which then an anvil and enough essence will allow you to unlock the armor's higher tier. Each tier provides a massive boost to that armor spec and unlocks a perk point. Perk points, unlike idols, are a constant buff, like more speed, more tributes when you sell to vendors, or a parry buff. Besides upgradable stats, armors also have additional stat bonus which unlock using a number of specific essence stones in your momentum bar. These then not only buff your armor stats more, but also provide unique armor traits. Now, if that wasn't enough to keep you busy, you'll also be collecting gauntlet shards, which feed into 3 gauntlet abilities you'll need to find in order to progress the story. You have Dash, Raise, and finally Crush, with each of these needing 3 shards to become the more powerful version. For instance, Dash only allows 2 dashes, be it on the ground or in the air, but once upgraded provides a third, which is essential for combat and more importantly getting to hard to reach places within the world. Now, I unfortunately did not have the ability to check out the co-op, as this is a friend invite only game. I hope they change this to fully online later, as there is a number of Essence Stone buffs that are well catered to co-op play. And if it's anything like the single play experience, it will be a blast to enjoy with friends and more. There is so much to see, hear and do that I was always exploring, looking for a way up to somewhere or killing a monster for a specific Essence Stone, that I was constantly engaged. This is a well crafted world that really is just enjoyable to be in. Next is graphics. The game's visuals are gorgeous and showcase off the brutal landscape in a number of stunning ways that shows its harshness but still its beauty. The differences in diversity from underground chasms, spider web-like mountaintops to desolate desert are all finely woven in as you make the way just across one area. Level design is especially brilliant, as the developers have baked in tasks that fundamentally change the landscape as you progress through the game. For instance, there are watchtowers around the world that turn the landscape vicinity it's in into a dark red dust storm area that is hard to see through, let alone fight through. Though, once these watchtowers are defeated, the landscape changes and the dust storm is lifted, allowing the sunlight to penetrate the land again. Battles are equally as impressive with its vast array of visually stunning skills and enemy attacks that shake the battlefield you are in. Colour is used in amazing ways, from signifying an incoming attack to being pelted with a swathe of colourful mines, all hell bent on taking you down. Character physical customization is also well done, with lots of options to create your own personalised gauntlet bearer. And they have gone further so that cutscene renderings hide your helmet so you can enjoy the work you put in at the beginning. Armours can also equally be customised with a variety of colours which you purchase and add-ons to be found. However, you can transmogrify any armour piece to look as another armour set if you so wish. Character models and creature models are detailed and varied enough for you not to get bored. However, a few more different types of enemies would be appreciated from the 15 types on offer. But it is good to see a bestiary has been added so you can study their rewards at your own leisure. The lighting in this game is also a highlight as it shines amazingly and casts some stunning shadows that produce some stunning vistas, which can only be truly appreciated when up on high. Each surrounding world is brilliantly sculptured and varies and showcases off a wonderfully polished world to engage with. Finally, it is sound. The game is fully voiced and the voice actors do a superb job portraying their avatars, be it in the comic book historical telling or in-game renderings used to tell the story.
Yes, best night ever. Me. Here.
With regards to the game's soundtrack, the developers have gone for a more beautiful choir vibe that only appears in battles or cutscenes, which then ramp up depending on the situation to push the tension more in your face. Villages and towns are given more the soothing flute treatment to instill a down-to-earth aesthetic, but it never goes above the sound of your movement or actions. This leaves the vast majority of the game's sounds using the harsh environmental weather of wind and sand, combining this with animals or creature growls in the distance to flow through. In terms of combat though, these however are punchy, vibrant and weighty as your hits against the enemy connect. Screams, growl and screeches from the creatures alert you from afar, and NPCs will call to you should you get close to their location.
Fascinating. Look at all this history gifted to us. I can't wait to dig into this. You've done a great deed.
My recommendation here is a good quality soundbar to enjoy the weight of your attacks as they deal damage after damage on the wraiths. And this leads me on to the rating of the game. Now, I rate games in order of avoid, on sale, great purchase and must own. My rating for Atlas Fallen is a must own. The game old school Darksiders vibe in terms of drip feeding the story and powers as you progress, combined with the signature limb targeting mechanic and fluid combat just works so well. Stunning vistas and deep exploration mixed with a versatile collection of battle builds is icing to a really great game. The game is currently priced on Xbox at £49.99 or approximately $60, and depending on your skill and patience would give you around 35 plus hours worth of gameplay. Combine this with a huge selection of hidden collectibles, creatures to kill, essence stones to find, and you can easily add on another 10 hours. Being that there is co-op, this will also mean the replayability is there should you wish to engage with friends. Deck 13 Interactive should be commended here in bringing something fresh to the world of gamers and for cementing a new franchise that I look forward to growing as they continue their journey in this genre. I hope DLC will be added as this is a world I look forward to spending more time with and engaging with. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I do hope you like this review, and if you do, please like, share and subscribe if you so wish. And if you would like to put some notes or even just a comment in the comment section, I do like reading them. Anyway, have a great time gaming, and I'll see you all again soon.